Sir from 17 once again, introducing you to my Halo 4 Legendary Difficulty video walkthrough. This is Mission 2, Requiem, and this is of course solo for anybody wondering. At the beginning of this level there is an opportunity to scourge around the ruins and pick up everything that you can that you deem, decent. Not too sure why this elite is using a plasma pistol. I don't think I've ever seen one use a plasma pistol. But he's breaking the mold. There's a couple of things to read. There's a couple of little drops and stuff, grenades, all that kind of good jazz. I'm probably going to come out of this area with the Magnum and the Covenant carbine because I love the carbine. The carbine and me, we go back like. I am not a good Halo player, guys. I'm just not. It's not my game. I didn't enjoy it when it came out. I didn't play it, and thus I don't play these games, so I don't have the same kind of standard of gameplay as a lot of people that are probably going to play this game. The difference is, I'm pretty good at first-person shooters, and I make up with my lack of, shall we say, experience with the game, with my ability with the genre. And a lot of people have been playing Halo for so long that they know how to exploit a lot of it, and they know all the best things to do and stuff. That isn't really me. I know how to exploit a lot of it because I'm just a cheesy bastard, but for the most, you'll probably see me doing things that aren't standard to the Halo games, and if you deem it to be reckless or not, the best strategy, then just play it your way. All these are going to are a guide to getting you through some of the tougher areas. And the one thing that kills me about this game is, and it's probably the reason why it's never clicked with me, I do not like shooting from the hip. I have been conditioned, just like I was conditioned to reload after every time I killed something, I've been conditioned to aim down sights when I shoot, and only ever shoot from the hip when I'm doing, messy cleanup at something very close range. And the thing with Halo is, you are just as accurate from the hip as you are when you were aimed in, and for a lot of the times it's better to shoot from the hip, and that is something that I just cannot get used to because every single fibre in my body tells me not to do it. And there's going to be moments in this game, in this guide, where you're thinking, why are you aiming, dude? And it's literally because I cannot help it. And I'm that guy that thinks Halo would be better with iron sights, but that's just because I love iron sights, I really do. And I appreciate that this came from an era where games didn't have those. Games literally had this, all games had this, where the gun was there, the aimer was on the screen, and that's how it worked. And that's all good and well, but I've come a long way since then, and I don't really play games that have this feature, so when I come back to Halo, hip firing is a difficult concept for me. But I am working on it, and by the time I get to the end of the guide, who knows, maybe I'll be a little bit more adept. One thing they've definitely changed on this game is the grenades. They do not seem to have nowhere near the explosive radius as they used to. The grenades were lethal on past Halos. On this one, they kind of feel a little bit nerfed. Please leave a comment if you agree with me. I don't know for sure, but it definitely feels that way. This is the Warthog, and thank fucking Christ you don't have to do too much driving in it, because as I've already shared with pretty much everyone I know, I really do not like the way the Warthog controls. Never have, never will. There is a vehicle on this game that I think handles pretty damn amazingly and is probably the most fun vehicle in a Halo game, and I don't think it's ever been in another Halo game. And it's not the giant robot thing, because that giant robot thing was kind of shit. But this sequence here is a nice open area where you've got to pretty much take on a couple of camps of Covenant. I generally drive the truck and then start sniping them with the assault rifle, but I get a little bit creative midway through and decide to go into the camps and, go mano a mano on them. One thing to bear in mind, be very careful of the dropships. Like, this series seems to change its mind so much. Before, the dropships didn't shoot you, then they did shoot you. Like, before they couldn't be destroyed, then they could be destroyed. I can't keep up with this shit, man. All I know is that those fucking dropships take a beating, they give out a massive beating, and be exceptionally careful when you're trying to spawn kill enemies, because it can be difficult. That right there is an example of range when the game tells you you don't have it. Just because the reticle doesn't go red does not mean you'll miss, it just generally means that the damage drop off of the gun can sometimes suffer. And it doesn't suffer all the time, it's just sometimes you could swear you're getting headshots and the game tells you you're not, and it's kind of strange. These towers generally signify there's a sniper in them. That dude I just shot a moment ago was the sniper. It's a good idea to go up into his tower and get his weapon, but I believe I try to find it and I don't succeed, so learn through my mistakes. This is a ghost. This is another one that's undergone a cosmetic change. As you can see, it looks extremely nice. It's got some interesting particle effects happening. That looked like a fuel... Yeah, that's a fuel rod. Always kill the grunts with the fuel rods, because that weapon will kill you so quick. And just be careful, because I expected this ghost to do more damage than it does. I don't know if it did more damage before, or if it's been slightly muted, but if an enemy's in one of these things, they could be an absolute nightmare. When you get in one, you generally don't feel as strong, so don't think that this is going to win you every situation. It is extremely fast though, and it's useful for those moments where you need to be quick. And, like this section here, you can probably do it much faster than I'm showing. I'm kind of taking my time, you know, methodically cleaning out the Covenant, because all you have to do is go over to where I'm looking and jump up the ledge and run that way. And if you're quick enough, you can probably ghost all the way across, jump up, and get lucky with the checkpoint, but I decided to clear everything out, which is definitely a good idea. Because that's the conceit, generally, when you're playing Halo, in my experience. You'll come across a situation where you're not quite sure whether or not it's smarter to just bum rush it to hit a checkpoint in a suicide run, or to take your time and spend 10-15 minutes clearing out an area nice and safe, nice and slow. And the decision making process is generally based on a couple of deaths in my experience. And I think there's only maybe 2 or 3 sections where I did that. One of them was a massive pain in the ass, but I'll talk about that when we get there. So I'm going to use this time to pretty much give you my thoughts on the game as a non-biased Halo player, because I'm not really a Halo player. This was quite funny. I tried to stick this guy, but... Do you know what these enemies remind me of when I'm playing these games? Especially the elites. The elites are bastards. They make me think of split-screening with a friend. When you have a sniper rifle and you aim it at your friend and he magically moves at the moment you're about to shoot because he's looked at your screen. That is the exact same thing that happens on this game. Every one of these motherfuckers is watching your screen. Every time you go to shoot them in the face, they decide to do a dance. It's really stupid. But be careful of that elite. He does take a pounding, but you know, if you're up to date on your headshots, you should be fine. But yeah, Halo reviewer. When you come up here, you're going to get bum rushed by 3 grunts. Just be careful. This next sequence is ambiguous at best. And I've only got a minute to talk, so I might probably put this off for the next video.
If we're going to hijack a ship from these Covenant, we're going to have to find where they're landing first.
But keep on moving forward. Always be conscious of your ammo, and always be conscious of trying to replace a gun with another gun, because it can be a pain in the ass. It really can. I would go as far as to say that any Halo game, if you're in a situation with bad weapons, it can be one of the hardest games you'll play, because you just cannot deal enough damage. Like, look at this, I'm using a good gun and it's not doing enough damage, and I'm out of ammo with it, so I have to pick up this thing. And this thing can do a lot of damage against shields because it is a plasma weapon, but it don't feel good to me. It's the same with the suppression weapon, which is a new race weapon. It's essentially just a ridiculous SMG, but it's fucking trash. It's really bad. And don't get me wrong, I really enjoy the diversity. I'm glad that they've put new weapon types in, but some of them are just pointless, and some of them that have been in for a long time are equally pointless. Thanks for watching anyhow, and you take care now.